And now, News Channel 10's 24/7 local weather first alert forecast.
Well, good Friday morning, everyone. As we're gearing up to kick off the weekend, we're doing so on a pretty chilly note out there. As right now, here at the time of recording, just before the 5 o'clock hour, we're looking at 27 degrees outside here in Amarillo. We're seeing teens up in the north. Wind chills are down in the teens and borderline single digits here as we start out the day. So make sure to grab that jacket as you head out the door. Thankfully, right now as well, winds nice and calm. We always like to see that. That's allowed that humidity to bounce back a little bit. Those winds are light. So, of course, for at least this morning, those firefighting efforts not being hindered by the weather. And that's, of course, great news for those ongoing efforts, which, of course, you can keep up with at newschannel10.com anytime. Now, we are seeing another red flag warning for the day today. You'll see just right around Amarillo and then off towards the west for the day today. Our eastern rows of counties are getting left out of it, and there is good reason for that, which we'll circle around to here in just a second. But the primary timing for that is from noon to 7 o'clock for your Friday. So we're looking at primarily kind of an afternoon threat for the day today. Similar counties further off towards west seeing a wind advisory. That's from noon to 5. So we have this short window where I think those winds are really going to get up going into this afternoon, where gusts could get upwards of 50 miles an hour. So not another extreme wind day, but still a little bit blustery in parts of the region. So let's talk about those winds. Nice and calm right now. They'll get out of the southeast at 5 to 15 miles an hour through the mid-morning period. But you'll see right there, those winds start to get going and out of the west going into 3 o'clock this afternoon. You'll see 20-plus mile-an-hour winds here in Amarillo. Those westerly winds at 30-plus. They're off in eastern New Mexico with maybe high teens. They're further off towards the east with those winds still out of the southeast. Those winds take that push out of the east, and then they turn out of the north. We're going to circle back to that as well here in a little bit, but let's talk humidity. So this morning, 50% ranges around a lot of the region. Like I said, that really helps with those wildfire fighting conditions as it's not that critically dry out there. But today you'll see from the west to the central parts of the area, you'll see maybe 10 to 20% on that relative humidity value. Pairing that with those stronger winds, of course, that all adds up to, of course, that critical fire danger for the day today. But you'll see further off towards the east, you're seeing somewhere around 20 to 30%, which is, of course, the higher that number is, the better. And then a cold front pushing in tonight really starts to get those numbers up going into your Saturday. And that's our next weather maker that we're going to be cooling and we're going to be calming here for our forecast, as winds and fire danger won't be as big of a deal looking ahead in the outlook, as you're going to see those winds turn out of the north going into your Saturday, 5 to 15 miles an hour. And then my favorite part of it, going into your Saturday afternoon, nice calm winds out there. We love to see that. So wind speeds will drop off here as we head on into the weekend with those temperatures and the 20s out there for this morning. We're going to be hovering right around that freezing mark through 9 o'clock this morning. 48 by lunchtime today with a daytime high of only about 58 degrees. So pretty much on par with what we saw yesterday. Warmer there further off towards the west, cooler up in the northeastern parts of the region with 40s as you roll into this evening. Then we'll be seeing those overnight lows drop down into the low 20s out there yet again. It looks like our Saturday morning will be the coldest part of the outlook, and then we'll only get up to maybe 50 degrees or so going into your Saturday afternoon. So there's the cooling part. We've covered the calming part as well. So looking at our fire weather outlook, we do have that critical risk for today. Central western half of the area off into eastern New Mexico. But for tomorrow, going into your Friday, or going into your Saturday rather, none for the entire News Channel 10 viewing area. So like I said, it looks like we're going to get a little bit of reprieve finally from the worst of that fire danger. So we'll see those 50s bounce back to 59 by Sunday. Maybe a couple of slightly breezy days later on next week, but nothing really all that extreme right now. But temperatures do look to warm in a big way as a ridge of high pressure system looks to kind of settle in. And you'll see right there 60s and high 70s going into your Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. That will eventually bring in, of course, that warmer weather. Things are looking dry here for the time being, but not as critically dry as it has been so far this week.